Hey, what's up, gang? Coach Clint here, founder of Creed.
And I am Austin. I'm the head coach over at Creed Athens.
Hey, so today we're going to talk to you. This video is just for you if you're feeling a little frustrated with your progress at the gym.
I feel like everyone gets to that point at some point during their fitness journey.
100%. Whether you're a Creed member or not, right? So this applies to you if you're a member at Creed already, or maybe if you're working out at another gym.
And big number one is something we harp on and is kind of in the DNA of our Creed culture. But like Clint just said, really whatever gym you go to, one of the biggest things that can halt your progress is if you are not consistent with the program that you're following when you go into the gym.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, I think this is a fitness principle, but it's also just like a life principle. One of my mentors, Forrest Walden over at Iron Tribe, he said this one time, and there's a lot of wisdom here. He just said, "Hey, you just got to stop stopping. You just got to stop stopping, right? Don't start and work out 4 times a week for 3 weeks and then stop for 2 or 3 weeks, right? Because I feel like that's what most people do.
Yeah. Or it even turns into they want to go really hard for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it ends up, since they're not used to that, since their intensity is way too high at the beginning, then they end up just on this roller coaster ride of constantly back and forth on those.
And then you do that, you get overly sore, you're kind of miserable, and you're like, oh, you know, it's like...
Or the injuries start creeping
right?
in. Super common.
Hey, it doesn't have to be that way, gang. Just back it off. Hit that 3 times a week, no matter what. Pat yourself on the back if you hit number 4, but keep doing that over a long period of time.
And one other thing that's kind of like a subcategory of the consistency is specifically with our Creed programming, the reason it's so great in the way we format things is you're constantly not only getting different styles of workouts, but we're hitting all different sorts of components of fitness like strength. You're getting the longer cardio days, you're getting some accessory work in there. But with the consistency, another aspect of that is making sure that you're not just cherry picking the ones that you like and only coming to those and getting burned out on the same style over and over and over.
Right. So I would say leading into number 2 on, you know, if you're frustrated with progress, if you've checked the consistency box, then I think you've got to look at what kind of effort you're giving during your workouts.
100%. And first, that has to come from within, especially if you're at a gym where someone isn't coaching you, whether it's a personal trainer or you're going to a group style fitness class. One of the best ways you can track your effort is by actually taking notes on whether how much weight you're doing for weightlifting, your times for specific workouts, and seeing if you are putting in the effort. Because if you're just going in and not tracking anything, you could do 10 pounds one week, then the next week you forgot how many you did, and then you're doing 7 pounds, when in reality you should be actually increasing your effort and intensity as you're going.
You know, and I also think this is worth saying, you know, sometimes people are afraid to join a gym like a Creed because maybe they've heard through the grapevine, oh, I can't do that stuff. Y'all, you know, it's too intense for me. There's a reason that we work out a little bit higher on the intensity scale, and the reason is because it gives you a lot more result. You know,
that's huge. And also with that, intensity is always relative as well. So if you see someone else and they're working out in what your brain feels like a 10 out of 10, for you it's all relative to what you feel comfortable with, and just always making sure that in your own personal experience, you know that you're pushing that effort as you're going through. Because
even that person, they weren't doing that when they first started.
100%.
They were working out at a level that was intense for them, even though maybe it would have been down here. Whereas somebody who's been doing it for a year, 2, 3 years with consistency, they're able to work out at a higher intensity compared to the beginner.
So thinking about number 3 now, kind of tied in with effort, is if you are putting in that high effort and that high intensity, we got to recover the other 23 hours out of the day. And so it's huge to where if you're really putting in the hard effort when you're in the gym, and then you're going out and you're eating McDonald's, you're staying up on Instagram and YouTube until 2 a.m. in the morning and only getting 4 hours of sleep, you're not drinking any water during the day, then when you try to come back in the gym, that's going to be the reason why your body's not recovered, both from a muscle soreness level, you're going to feel stiff, there's just going to be all these compounding effects that make it harder when you come back in the gym the next time.
You know, so this year I turned 39, and I used to kind of not think that recovery was a big deal. Now that I'm pushing 40, it's just reality. Recovery's huge. Yeah, when you're in your early to mid 20s, you might be able to get away with, you know, lack of sleep and too much alcohol intake and too much McDonald's, whatever. You start pushing 40, you start, oh, this recovery thing's a real thing. It's actually beneficial.
Yeah. It's huge, and that will play into if you're able to be consistent over the long run, and also the effort and intensity you're able to put in when you come into the gym.
Yep. So, last one here, and I think we need to talk a little differently towards Creed members and non-Creed members on this one. But number 4 is, look, if you're frustrated, you might need to hire a coach, right? And so what I would say there is, obviously, if you're not a member at Creed, come check us out, you know, get some more hands-on coaching. It's worth the extra money to actually get a result. But then I would also talk to the Creed members here and say, look, use your coaching team, right? Pull us aside after class, ask us about nutrition, ask us about recovery, ask us about form. I feel like all in all, as a whole, when I look at our members, they don't utilize this as much as they could.
100%. And on top of that, I always see a decline in people's willingness to talk to the coaches over time. I feel like when someone first joins, they're like, after every class, they're asking me for this, how does my form look on this? And then once they feel like they just get a couple months in, then it's like, oh, I figured this whole thing out. I don't really need the coaches anymore. I know what a barbell back squat is. I know what a kettlebell swing is. I don't need anyone to check my form. I don't need to ask about what stretches I need to be doing. And they just don't utilize the coaching staff, similar to what he was just talking about.
To me, you know, being a fitness coach for as long as I've been a fitness coach, I would say the two main benefits of having a coach are, number 1, as coaches, we can help you expedite your progress just with little tips, tricks, knowledge. But then also, the other side is the accountability side. We can help you. We can't hold your hand fully, but we're there to give you that push, give you that text, give you that call when you start slacking. And I think that's a huge benefit for long-term progress.
And especially for some of our longer-term Creed members, it does turn into a really cool relationship that they have with the coaches. Because once you begin to see and get to know a coach really well, then they can tell when you're slacking a little bit in terms of effort during the workout. Because if they know, man, 2 or 3 months ago, this member was pushing it really hard, and then today I see them kind of slacking off a little bit, we can, in a good and encouraging way, we can kind of call them out on that and make sure they're pushing it.
Hey gang, hope this was helpful today. Like, share, all the comments, you know, whatever the crap you're supposed to say with all that. But also, hey, if you're a non-member, check us out, reach out. We'd love to help you guys out.